wasn't a lot of negative attention until I decided to leave her. She asked me to marry her after knowing me for 5 months, but because I couldn't say no.
I mean, yeah, who's gonna say no at that time?
And I said, okay, but I don't know if my heart was really into it.
Right.
I'm looking at my mom, a wife at that time should cook, clean.
Traditional.
Is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly.
Oh, damn.
And she see an actor that she worked with one time, and he came in, hey, kissed him on the lips.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I was embarrassed, bro. I was like, but wait, hold on. I just hugged the girl.
Right.
You kissed this dude. Mm-hmm. I just realized this is not the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Mm-hmm. So February 1996, I told her, hey, I can't do this no more. We don't have any kids. We should just make a clean break. And she was like, no.
Oh.
No. What you do and keep playing.
Obviously learning and transitioning, but what was it like having personal stuff public, such as relationships and stuff like that? How hard was that back then? Because again, if there's some out there, you just kind of have to go with it because there's no real filter or opportunity for you to speak your piece.
So I didn't really have any really real personal stuff until, Halle and I got together, you see. And of course, that was a lot of focus because back in them times, I can't think other than Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe. I can't think of anybody before that was us.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I can't think of no one. Mm-hmm. And then Halle coming up young and being hot and just trying to make her career. And then you got me. And, it really wasn't a lot of negative attention until I decided to leave her in 1996. I remember Halle saying to me, hey, she asked me to marry her after knowing me for 5 months. And I mean, I said, okay, but because I couldn't say no.
I mean, yeah, who's gonna say no at that time?
And
let me ask y'all this real quick, fellas and females in the chat. Do y'all feel like it's y'all feel like a woman should ask a man for marriage if she's really into him? How do y'all feel about that? You feel like it should always be the guy pushing that first foot forward?
I said, okay, but I don't know if my heart was really into it.
Right.
But I didn't want to make her feel bad and say no, or like I was just in the moment. It caught me off guard. Okay. But I was like, cool, we getting along, we vibing. We're only 5 months in, we still in the honeymoon state. And then all of a sudden, that followed up. I met Halle in May of 1992. So you talking about, then we got married January 1st, 1993.
Damn.
Okay.
Right. And, but we spent a lot of time apart because she was doing movies in this country, that country. And we honestly, we probably could have made it.
Okay.
If I knew about therapy, if we knew about therapy.
The reason why I believe that regardless whether y'all went to therapy or not, it still went to work is because she lacked traditional values. She was not a traditional woman. There was no way therapy was going to be able to embed traditional values when that's something that she should have learned from her family, her upbringing. And she had a spoiled child syndrome. Her even to ask you to marry you, that's already a clear sign of I want what I want and I'm going to take it. That's like the pretty girl privilege, the pretty girl syndrome. I'm glad today we have guys out here speaking on situations like this to where some guys don't have to get wrecked in these situations because he could have got wrecked back in the day. Now we're talking about this stuff so that us as guys don't have to go through that. And we can say, nah, I'm good. We see the bad trades, boom. Of course, you're going to have guys still crashing out, but I'm glad that we can at least speak upon it and talk about it.
We probably could have made it because we never had any major issues like that. Mm-hmm. It's just that because I was young and had only been in, honestly, one real relationship before her, my knowledge and my understanding, my wisdom around relationships just wasn't vast. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at my mom And I'm a Midwest guy, so in my mind, I'm thinking a wife at that time should cook, clean.
Traditional.
You know, and then I'm thinking, okay, if we have kids, you know, is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly.
Oh, damn.
And then we start having issues.
I'm gonna say this real quick. At that point in time, him being a young 20-year-old, probably 20-something-year-old guy, he wanted her time. That's what most men want. We want the woman's time. And you gotta think about this guy was already successful in the major leagues. He already was making a lot of money. So now you're here. Now you're pulled away from me because now you making a lot of money. You're an actress. It's not gonna hit the same when the guy is young. Now, the reason why he said therapy in this, see, because he's an older man right now. He don't care to be around a woman or require her time all the time. But as a younger guy, a lot of these women don't understand that when you getting pulled left and right, it puts a burden on us to say, I'm paying for all this and I can't really have you. And there's other people probably experiencing you also.
Listen, we never I'll say this. We never had any issues about other women, other men.
Okay.
I mean, like, I was never tripping when, well, I was tripping one time when she.
Hold on, I got one time I was tripping.
At one time, because I didn't understand it. When we were out to lunch in LA, and I remember I'm from Cincinnati, man. I ain't even in LA scene like that.
Okay.
And she see an actor that she worked with one time, and he came in, hey, kissed him on the lips.
Oh.
What are we doing around here?
Was he European or American? I'm confused.
American.
What is going on here?
Nah, any woman that does behavior like that, that's an automatic no. If she's, I don't care how friendly you are as a woman, that feminine energy stuff, all co-worker, nah, if y'all kissing, extra hugging, that's a red flag, that's a problem. And some women feel like, some women can hide it really well. And if you're dealing with an actress possibly or a content creator who can put on a persona, a cosplay character, they're going to be able to sell it to you a lot harder that they're not doing anything. But they're the ones 9 times out of 10 that's doing something because they can put that in the back of their head. You know what I'm saying? Any chick that could play that Monsters Ball scene like she did, it's a high probability that she's capable of doing things behind your back and you not knowing what's going down. But it'll come out in different ways, and that's one way how it probably came out for him.
Oh, so I know this is going to be a conversation. So we get home and I ask about that. Oh, that's what we do in LA. Oh. Okay. So now her manager and I used to go to this restaurant all the time. I had a young lady at the front seat us all the time. We went there so much, she became so friendly. We got the hugging her every time we come in. Hey, how you doing? Just regular hug. Take Halle and his wife to lunch one time. I said, Halle, this is such and such. This is Halle, right? Halle looked at that girl, saw how fine she was. Man, she gave her one of them, like barely touched her hand, right? Just played her crazy. I was embarrassed, bro. I was like, but wait, hold on. I just hugged the girl.
Right.
You kissed this dude, and you mad at me because I hugged the girl? So remember, we young. So, young, you get petty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You petty when you're young. There's things you just do that are petty when you're young. Well, anyway, the honeymoon stage was over, right? And now it's just David and Halle. And when it's just David and Halle, I just realized this is not the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. So February 1996, I told her, hey, I can't do this no more. We don't have any kids. You said you wouldn't want any money from me because really she didn't have any money. I was the one who bought the house in LA.
Oh.
I was the one who had my house in Atlanta. I'm really footing everything. And I said,
So you telling me this man was the breadwinner and you getting pulled left and right as an actress making no money? So really you ain't even bringing a little bit of financials into the part. I'm stretching myself out for somebody who literally just giving all her attention away down there for free. I'm not even getting the full benefit. You basically like a trophy that I can't keep all the time. That's crazy.
You said you didn't want any money, so we don't have any kids. We should just make a clean break. And she was like, no.
Oh.
No. So, and then all of a sudden I find out I got all these women. I find out I'm doing all this other stuff. And so what she was doing is, see, I'm just an athlete. I don't have managers. I don't have this system behind me. You see, she got managers. She got all this kind of stuff.
She got the machine.
She got the machine. So you got the machine now coming against me. And I remember my mom saying to me, she was like, listen, baby, all the media want to do is see you two, you young black kids fighting with each other.
Yeah.
She said, you just take the high road and let her say whatever she want to say, but I don't want you out here talking bad about that girl. My mama said this to me. I'm an only child, raised with just my
Mama smart. Mama know she know the narrative that was gonna be spun against him. Even though he dealing with, a woman, Halle Berry was gonna have that narrative set up to make him look like the bad guy because she's already a persona. Her team is gonna protect her. She gonna protect her image. She gotta still look like the good girl, even if she was the bad girl or bad guy in the situation. David was gonna be the bad guy, any way, shape, or form of the outcome.
mom. What my mom said was gospel.
Right.
So I said, okay, mom, I won't salt her like that in public. I might talk a lot of junk to the boys, but I ain't gonna say nothing in public.
That's smart.
And I didn't, man. I didn't. I just watched her say all this stuff about me, and I was like, and so crazy is the one thing that probably I would say hurt the most is Halle had a relationship with a gentleman who hit her on the side of the head, and so she lost some hearing.
Damn.
But she never made him public. And I'm not gonna make him public because I ain't gonna do him like that. I know who it is. But for people to think, oh, it had to be David Justice because the only person they associated her with was me. Now she said it was a former boyfriend. I'm not a former boyfriend, I was her husband.
Right.
That's different.
Big difference.
But literally from 96 until even today, sometimes I'll see something on social media. Well, he hit her in the head. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
oh, that's just a quick Google search.
Yeah.
Do a quick Google search. That girl ain't
See, man, I just want to speak on this real quick, man. A lot of these women will hide their trauma and put it on the next guy. You done been through all this bull crap before me, but now I gotta absorb that. I gotta absorb these incidents and I be put on me as if I created them, but you've been hard. That's why all these dangerous relationships early on, sometimes toxic relationships, and you put it on the good guy. That's why it's bad, because they're gonna think that you caused this stuff. And really, she was out here doing any and everything to create the situations. That's crazy but see, this guy being a humble guy, athlete back in the day, man, the man was an athlete, he was doing his thing, but you still have to deal with a chick that you feel like is the apple of your eye, but really is a rotten piece of candy or a rotten fruit.
never said I hit her in the head. But one thing I didn't like is, but she let you think that.
Right.
She let the world think it.
That's tough.
She didn't come out and say,
That wasn't him.
oh, no, it wasn't David. But I'm not gonna say who it was, but it wasn't him. No, she let the world think that it was me.
That's crazy.
And that I never appreciated with her. I thought she was dead wrong for that. I thought she should have handled that better. And I always say it like this, man. If I was so bad, you would think she would keep my name out of her mouth. She would be so happy I left, right? If I was so bad as a husband, she'd be like, whoa, I'm so glad he left me, boy. Because it ain't like it was hard for her to find a next dude, right? She kept my name in her mouth because she wanted to be with me. She wanted us to work out. You know what I mean? And I know now that I've gotten a lot older and I look back, I mean, it's been a long time since I look back on that situation, but when I probably got probably like in my 30s, and I was more mature, and I look back on that situation, and I'm like, that girl really, really did love me, and I can see why she would be so mad at me. Because imagine if you really love somebody and they tell you they want to break up and there ain't nothing you can say to get them back. That's had to be tough on her.
Well, guess what though? She could have did things to keep you there. She could have worked a little bit harder, just being honest. If you find somebody that you really like, and I could tell this was Halle type, man. He light skinned, she like light. She one of the ones that prefer a more lighter, fair skinned dude. This was her type. This was her archetype. The man was successful, athletic. Come on, athlete. So she just couldn't keep him because she couldn't do the traditional things that he was used to. Being from Cincinnati, her being an LA, actress. She couldn't do the traditional things that he saw that he probably appreciated, and all the other red flags and all the traveling, this and that. He ain't want that. A man don't work that's hard to get a chick that's going to be away from, and he want her at arm's length to where he can control the situation. She come in when he want to come in. She can be there when he wants to be there. And then from there, if it's going to be separation, it's probably going to be more from his side. But how are you mine, but you really not mine? So that's where some of these relationships, when you have a woman who, I'm gonna speak on that in a minute. Let's just go and finish this out.
Wasn't emotionally mature at that age to really truly understand the magnitude of how she was really feeling. And I would have did things different back then too. I wouldn't have just, man, literally when I left her, I didn't even talk to her no more. Like, that is so
cold.
That's like, I didn't even ease out. Hey, I don't want to be together no more. Gone. You see? I mean, I could have massaged that better, Matt. I could have. So,
but should you though?
So back to the point of the focus in the media. Probably the best thing that happened to me is, this was February 96 when I left her. I only played 6 weeks of the season that year. I blew my shoulder out.
Okay.
So I saved myself a whole year of fans just craziness. Burying me.
Because I was going to ask too, I mean, obviously people expect us to be superhuman. And when we go through real shit off the field or off the court, there's no excuse in our profession. So I was going to ask you, did it affect your playing at all? But you didn't really.
I started out great. I started the season great. I wasn't hearing too much junk on the road yet, but I'm sure it would have heated up, you know? And I never, the only time that, listen, it became the thing that people would say to me on the road. They would always say, you know, Halle left you, or they would say real nasty stuff about what they've done with Halle since, you know, she left. You know, people are ignorant in the stands, you know. But one of the best ones, we were playing the Yankees. I'm in Cleveland. This still to this day, man, I love the Yankee fans. You know, I played there, great fans, and they are really good at getting on the opposing team. I'm at the plate, Matt, and the whole stadium is chanting, Halle Berry, boom, boom. They had the organist was on it, boom, 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 Halle Berry. That's the first time I've been at a plate like, how you get everybody in the stadium to say it.
That sounds like Yankee fans, huh?
Hey, it was impressive. It was impressive. You know what I mean? And Yankee fans, I know y'all did that to me back then, but y'all know I love y'all.
What did you do? What'd you do that game?
I got out that at bat. I know that much. I didn't get a hit that at bat. That I do remember.
I love it. I love it. This episode.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end that right there, man. Wow. What I was expounding upon just a minute ago. When you have career-driven chicks, high level, don't matter the field, but if she's driven to attain success and status or whatnot, it's gonna be a conflict of how she maintains the guy. She's not gonna be able to do the things that the guy's gonna expect her to do. And it all depends on the type of guy also. I'm not gonna sit here and say that every guy's gonna be built the same. But I could just say on generalities, majority of guys are not gonna go for a chick that is away from his arm's length on how he wants to control the situation. You know, but a lot of these chicks think I can get the guy based on these qualities. No. You might look like arm candy at first because you possibly are successful behind the closed doors. You might be a headache, and you probably might offer some good balls, some good sex, some good interaction. But as time goes on, and the layers start unfolding, I really see you for who you are, you're gonna be a headache. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you don't want to. Why do you want a bum? Why you want a chick that's a bum?" It's not about you being a bum. It's about somebody that, if I'm already a high level guy, I need someone that's willing to follow accordingly, you know, and literally just, you know, help nurture all the things that I need nurtured, opposed to you can nurture me in these superficial ways. The scene would pop out. Oh, they know you, they know me. A lot of these successful guys don't even want to be nurtured like that. Why do you think that a relationship ended and how he had to break up with her, and then you have her right there distraught because that's who she wanted, but ultimately he didn't want that. This man already got a name for himself, but a lot of chicks think that their success is gonna bring them the guy of their dreams, another successful guy. Can it happen? For sure. But is it likely to? Probably not. And I think a lot of females who lead with money, they fail to realize that I'm successful, I'm a boss, I got this and that. Man, dudes don't even be looking at y'all for that. And if he is looking at you for that, it's only a matter of time until that ends as well. And then you look back and say, damn, I messed that up. Yeah, they don't learn until they get a little bit older sometimes. Like if you a young chick with money, you're gonna feel like you on top of the world. But once you get older, you start seeing how dudes really gonna look at you for, and that's gonna be a piggy bank and just some box. That's it. See, guys, we already understand the role that we play out there. We understand how women look at us all the time. It's not always just, it's not genuine most of the time. It's usually what we can bring to the table. So we're okay with that narrative. Y'all aren't though, because you're so used to guys liking y'all for stupid reasons and for any and everything. So man, great interview, man. David Justice, bro, definitely a classic legend for sure. You got Matt Barnes with their podcast. Make sure y'all watch this in its entirety. I have their channel linked in the description. What y'all thought about this, man, when it comes down to their relationship, and also, you know, these high profile relationship, on how they last and how sometimes the dynamics of their relationship get pushed into the dynamics of the regular people's relationships and how they move. But it's still gonna be a lot of similarities between the two. The celebrities are still gonna have a lot of reflections of how the regular people's relationships are. We all people. The only big difference is gonna be money. But when it comes down to the same things they deal with, we all gotta deal with the same exact things. How are y'all doing with y'all relationships? How y'all moving? How y'all women moving in y'all lives? I think that's gonna be the bigger question, because that's what's gonna be the turning point for how y'all hold each other down. The man gonna have to do things, the woman gotta do things, but can we all come together to see the common goal and understand each other's nature and, you know, straddle the fence on certain things? You know, everything don't have to be so absolute. I'm not sitting here saying that we got to be tyrants or whatnot. I understand men gonna run the relationships, but we don't have to be tyrants. You feel me? To be a great leader, you have to understand your subordinates or the people underneath you. You know, you have to be able to sympathize and move with them. It's not about just is my way or the highway. You know, it's all about compromise as well. That's a great leader. So let me get y'all thoughts about this, y'all. Make sure y'all watch this in its entirety. Make sure y'all like and comment on their channel. Make sure y'all like this video, comment below. This your guy, JayBReacts. How y'all have a great day, whatever time of day it is. And until next time, y'all, peace.